Hey, what is up YouTube? It's Overlord here, and today I want to talk to you about Twitch shooters, and why I don't think they're as competitive or quality as arena style shooters with a slower pace and time to kill. Usually whenever you compare these two types of games, there are a few key differences, which are the time to kill, the map design, the skill gap, and how the game is played by the public. Arena style shooters such as Gears of War and Halo generally have gun battles that are drawn out and can last a couple of seconds, and the outcome of the battle is dictated by the player's placement, the reaction time, the accuracy, and the experience with the game and their ability to use complex movement and weapon techniques together in combination with deadly precision. A very good example of this would be Halo's Gandhi hopping and BXRing, or Gears of War's wall bouncing and pop shotting. Both of these are techniques that are picked up throughout experience, and the amount of practice you put into them determines how effective they are when used. The techniques cannot be mastered by someone who has just started playing, and the players who know these techniques will often be at a larger advantage in a one-on-one gunfight. More often than not, the player who wins the gunfight is the better and more experienced player who knows the map well and can use it to his or her advantage in a gunfight. Twitch shooters, on the other hand, are about who can see who first and who has the better reaction time. The time to kill in Twitch shooters such as Battlefield and Call of Duty are generally low, usually being around the 1 second mark. The game's skill gap is largely based around one's reaction time and knowledge of the map. Your accuracy can waver because majority of the guns do a high amount of damage per shot and shoot over 600 rounds per minute, which is roughly 6 rounds per second. This means that majority of gun battles are not reliant on skill, just who can react first. A skilled player who knows what he's doing usually can't kill an enemy of lesser skill if he doesn't react first. Whereas with an arena style shooter, the more experienced player may be at a disadvantage, but he can either still win the gunfight or trade kills with the enemy because of his experience and skill and knowledge of the game. However, arena style shooters and Twitch shooters do share some common ground. That common ground being accuracy and map placement. Accuracy is important for any sort of first-person shooter or third-person shooter, and dictates who the victor of the gunfight will be. Although I personally feel that it is more important in arena-style shooters because the battle is so drawn out. Map control is also important. It lets you control higher ground, enemy spawns, and the overall flow of the map itself. This is also true for any game you play. However, yet again, I feel it is more important in arena-style shooters because of power weapons and power-ups that spawn on the map. These power weapons and power-ups are a huge boon to any team, and can mean the difference between capturing a flag or losing it. They often have a set timer, giving the team who knows said timer a huge advantage in the overall battle. Now, while it may seem that I have distaste towards Twitch shooters, I actually don't, provided the game has a competitive aspect, is made well, and offers a clean and balanced gameplay. Some games accomplish this, while others do not. Now, as I've explained and pointed out, I personally do not believe that Call of Duty is a quality game. However, I personally feel that Battlefield is a cut above most Twitch shooters in many aspects. Even on a non-competitive level, the amount of sandbox elements, weird physics, and destructible environments give the game so much replay value. It allows for a lot of odd and fun things to happen and provide me and many other players with extremely good memories. The competitive side of Battlefield is also a cut above most Twitch shooters as well. The game has a few key factors that add a huge skill gap, which are recoil, muzzle velocity, and bullet drop. These factors add in a large skill gap to the game, comparable to that of arena-style shooters. An experienced player will know how to control a weapon's recoil or bullet drop better than a newer player would. The experienced player knows how to use the destructible buildings and the environment to his or her advantage, and the experienced player will always know creative ways of dealing with obstacles that a newer player would never expect. These kind of skill gaps are present in Battlefield and are absent in most other Twitch shooters, and I personally wish that other Twitch shooters would kind of adopt this sort of element, this sandboxy element that Battlefield had. The only flaw that really holds this game back, in my opinion, is the same thing that holds back most Twitch shooters nowadays, and that is the netcode and the lag compensation. Usually the netcode and lag compensation are a little less than stable and quite mediocre whenever it comes to Twitch shooters. The lag compensation favors players with the worst connection, which causes some odd things to happen in game. On your screen you might have rounded the corner, but on the enemy screen you hadn't yet, so he put in enough damage to kill you. Both players send packets of data to the server, then the server dictates what is, quote, real in that universe, and majority of the time the player with a better connection is the one who gets screwed over, and the player with the worst connection ends up being victorious. With the netcode, quite a few odd things happen as well. Usually in Battlefield, you walk around the corner and you shoot some guy. Yet for some odd reason, you don't do damage to him, or you don't necessarily get any hit markers. And he turns around and kills you, despite the fact that you got the first shot off and none of your bullets do any damage. Now this is just kind of a rough draft of things that happen, and it does happen quite a bit more often in Twitch shooters than what it does in arena style shooters that are slower paced. So that's my reasoning as to why I don't think Twitch shooters are as competitive and as quality as arena style shooters are. I'm curious as to what you guys think the better type of game is. Leave a comment down below as to which game you prefer, and as to what game is your favorite. This is Overlord signing out, and I'll see you guys next time.